The NFL preseason chatter never fails to deliver some eyebrow-raising takes, but man, those Eagles fans are on another level lately. Their confidence is through the roof, already talking Super Bowl runs and 2,000-yard seasons for Saquon Barkley like it's a given. And look, there's nothing wrong with confidence, but when it starts turning into delusion, that's where things get hilarious. The wildest part? They're brushing off their own team's issues while nitpicking every little thing happening in Dallas. It's exhausting. They'll jump on a clip of Dak Prescott throwing a pick in practice like it's breaking news, but when someone calls out their secondary struggles or a misfiring offense, suddenly it's just practice. Come on now. You can't have it both ways. If Dak's mistakes matter in camp, so do yours. Meanwhile, Cowboys fans like you and me, we've seen this story before. Media and rival fans clinging to every negative headline involving Dallas while sweeping their own team's flaws under the rug. But here's the thing. Let them talk. Let them overhype themselves. Because while they're running their mouths, the Cowboys are handling business. And more importantly, they're building something real behind the scenes. This training camp hasn't been about flashy sound bites. It's been about grinding, battling, and setting a tone that says, this year, it's different. I get it, though. It's frustrating seeing the double standards. One little hiccup from Dak, and it's front-page drama. But if the Eagles' offense looks off, or their defensive backfield is paper-thin, no big deal. It's early. You ever notice that? It's like the media's allergic to giving Dallas credit and can't wait to pounce when something doesn't go perfectly. But you know what? That's exactly why I'm more encouraged than ever. Because this team isn't focused on winning the preseason headlines. They're focused on winning where it counts. Let me ask you something. Are you sick of the constant excuses the media makes for other teams while trashing the Cowboys for the smallest missteps? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Let's hear it. And if you're one of the true ones riding with this team through the noise, go ahead and hit that like button right now. Let's show the doubters how strong Cowboys Nation really is. And hey, if you're new here, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. We're grinding every day to bring you the real insight, and we're pushing toward our next milestone, $16,000. Subscribers, you can help us get there today. There's a big difference between what's happening inside Cowboys camp and what the outside world thinks is happening. And the media? They love to shape a narrative that makes Dallas look shaky, distracted, or dysfunctional, especially when it comes to Dak Prescott. You've seen it, the recycled headlines, the tired, can Dak lead this team questions, and the obsession with interceptions in practice. Practice. Not even game situations, just early camp reps, where guys are figuring things out. But here's what they're not showing you. The intensity in this camp is different. There's a focus. There's an urgency. You can feel it even through the clips and reports coming out. This isn't a group coasting on hype. They're working. And you know what else? Brian Schottenheimer and Mike McCarthy aren't letting anything slide. That alone is a big shift. You might remember how in previous seasons, it almost felt like certain guys could get away with penalties or sloppiness with no consequences. Not this time. Now, let's be real. It's not perfect. No team is perfect in camp, but the Cowboys aren't pretending to be. They're addressing issues head-on. Meanwhile, you've got people out there acting like the Eagles' defense will magically fix itself before Week 1, despite losing veteran leadership and looking disorganized. But because it's not Dallas, it barely gets mentioned. And this is the part that always bugs me. Why is it that if the Cowboys have a fight in practice or a miscue, it's a crisis, but when another team does it, it's just competitiveness? Why is Dak's interception a red flag, but Jalen Hurts throwing into double coverage in camp is him testing limits? The narratives don't match the reality. And that's why I respect what this coaching staff is doing right now. They're building from the inside out, ignoring the noise and putting in the work. Let me bring you into this. Do you think the media treats the Cowboys differently than other teams? Because if you ask me, it's not even close. Vote in the poll right now and let me know. Is the media harder on the Cowboys than other NFL teams? Yes or no? Simple as that. And while you're at it, if you're tired of the media drama and want real coverage from someone who's actually plugged into the team, hit that subscribe button. This channel's for real fans only. And together, we're going to ride this season out, no matter what the headlines say. Now let's talk about what really matters. What's going down on the field? Cowboys camp isn't just about drills and walkthroughs. It's getting fiery, physical, and real. And one moment in particular sent a loud message about where this team is headed under Brian Schottenheimer's watch. You may have heard about the fight that broke out during practice. Yeah, punches were thrown. And this wasn't just a scuffle between backups looking to make noise. It was the kind of brawl that reveals the tension and hunger inside this group, and more importantly, the kind of accountability that's finally taking root in Dallas. Here's the deal. Competition is fierce right now. These players know there are jobs on the line. Every rep, every drill, every play is a chance to climb the depth chart or get sent home. That intensity? It's boiling over. And when it did, Schottenheimer didn't sit back and let things slide. He didn't just break it up and move on. No, he made a statement. He threw a player out of practice. Not a starter, but still the message was loud and clear. If you cross the line, you're done. And that wasn't the end of it. Instead of just disciplining one guy, he had everybody running sprints, sideline to sideline, full pads, mid-practice. That right there is old-school football accountability. That's culture setting. That's letting the entire team know that this isn't just about one guy losing his cool. It's about all of them holding each other to a higher standard. And trust me, no one enjoys running gassers in full gear, no matter how tough you are. But sometimes the lesson has to be physical. Sometimes you need to feel the consequences to really understand what's at stake. What I love about this moment is that it wasn't handled with a shrug or a joke. It wasn't swept under the rug like in years past. This coaching staff is demanding more, and it sends a message not just to the players, but to all of us watching. This team is not messing around. It's about work, focus, and winning the right way. Not just talking about being tough, actually proving it. Let me ask you, when you hear about a training camp fight like this, do you see it as a red flag or a sign of passion? Drop your answer in the comments. I want to know where you stand. And if you're fired up to see this team fighting, literally for every inch, go ahead and smash that like button. Let's keep the energy high. And don't forget, we're pushing to 16,000 subscribers, and every single one counts. Hit that button now if you haven't already. What Brian Schottenheimer did in that practice wasn't just a heat-of-the-moment reaction. It was a calculated message, and maybe the most important one we've seen this offseason. When you look at how this team has handled discipline in the past, it's easy to see why something needed to change. Think back to seasons where guys like Randy Gregory were constantly flagged for boneheaded penalties, or when Sam Williams had those moments where he just couldn't control the extra shove or late hit. There were too many instances where the Cowboys shot themselves in the foot and nobody was held accountable in the moment. That kind of stuff adds up. And it's the reason why games that should have been wins turned into ugly losses. But Schottenheimer, he's not playing that game. What he laid down in practice was a clear line in the sand. It said, "You want to play for this team? Cool. But there are rules. And if you can't follow them, there are consequences." That kind of structure doesn't kill a team spirit. It builds trust. It tells players that no one is above the system, and maybe for the first time in a long time, this Cowboys team has that kind of leadership on the field and on the sidelines. It reminded me of those old-school coaches, the ones who knew how to push you hard, but also protect the team from itself. Not everything needs to be loud or flashy. Sometimes discipline is quiet and sharp, like making a guy run until his legs give out, or benching someone who's out of line, no matter their draft status. That's how you stop mistakes before they cost you on game day. The hope here is that this same tone carries over when the games begin. No more, "we'll get 'em next time" speeches after unnecessary roughness calls. No more excuses for hitting a kicker or tackling someone 5 yards out of bounds. If a player screws up, sit him. Make it count. That's how you change a losing culture. That's how you stop settling for close calls and start demanding real execution. Now I've got a question for you. Are you seeing this change too? Does this feel like a different level of accountability than in the past? Let me know in the comments. And if you're nodding your head right now, saying "finally," then you already know what to do. Hit that like button. Let's get this video pushed out to more real fans like you. And subscribe if you haven't yet. This channel isn't just about covering the Cowboys, it's about speaking truth on where this team is going. And right now, I think they're headed in the right direction. With everything we've seen and heard coming out of training camp, one thing is becoming crystal clear. This Cowboys team isn't just going through the motions. They're responding to adversity, they're pushing each other, and they're not letting outside noise dictate how they operate. And as odd as it might sound, that Micah Parsons contract drama, it might be fueling this group in the best possible way, because now it's become a rallying cry. You've got guys in that locker room who are backing each other up, playing for one another, and drawing a line between us and them. And sometimes, that's what it takes to ignite something special. Think about it like the movie Major League, where the ownership didn't believe in the players, and the players said, "Fine, we'll do it ourselves." That underdog energy, that us against the world mentality, it's starting to feel real in Dallas. They're not looking for validation. They're looking for wins. They're not trying to impress talking heads on national TV. They're trying to earn respect on the field, even from the beach. Yeah, that's where this video was recorded. You can sense it. You can hear it in the updates, see it in the clips, feel it in the tone of the reports. This isn't the same Cowboys team that collapsed under pressure or let the little things derail the big picture. This is a team learning from those failures. This is a team tired of being the punchline and finally taking control of the narrative by focusing on what really matters: discipline, accountability, and execution. The players, they're bought in. The coaches, they're raising the bar. And the fans, well, that's where you come in. Because this movement isn't just happening on the field, it's in every fan who shows up, tunes in, and backs this team when others count them out. That's why this channel exists, to bring you that honest energy, to ride with you through every win, every loss, every moment that matters. So before we close this one out, let me ask you, does this feel like the year the Cowboys finally flipped the script? Like they stopped talking about potential and actually live up to it? Tell me in the comments. I really want to hear your thoughts on this. And hey, if you've been riding with me this far into the video, you're exactly the kind of fan we're building this community for. So don't forget, hit that subscribe button and help us hit our goal of 16,000 subscribers. Like this video, share it with another Cowboys fan who needs to hear some truth and keep showing up, because something is brewing in Dallas, and you don't want to miss it.